Alright guys, we're going to start with a seated position. So you can sit on a pillow or you can sit cross-legged as long as your spine is neutral. You're going to start with deep inhales in, lifting the shoulders up as you inhale, drop them down as you exhale. Again, just taking a seated position, spine is neutral. You're inhaling for 2 seconds in. As you exhale, exhale for 4 seconds out. Drop your shoulders down. Up and down. You can close your eyes. Kind of let the stresses of the day, of the week, all out as you exhale. You can be seated however you like right now. You don't have to have your legs crossed. They can be out straight in front of you, slightly bent. I just want your spine to be straight up and down. So as long as that's the case, you can sit however you would like. Still focusing on just breathing, inhaling in, exhaling out. Trying to clear your mind, relax your body. Consider this like a reset. Hands are on your knees, however you are seated, and I want you to just do small rotations, back and forth. You're twisting from your torso. You're not letting your hips go with you. If you're sitting like I am, cross-legged, then that won't really be a problem. If your legs are out in front, your hips might want to go with you. This is only your torso rotating back and forth. As I'm doing this, while my legs are crossed, I'm actually pressing against my opposite knee as I twist. Just kind of push it a little bit further. Back and forth. You're still just breathing in for 2 seconds, exhaling for 4 seconds. Back and forth, twist. If you are sitting cross-legged and you have since the beginning, go ahead and switch which one is on the bottom and which one is on the top. Again, just small rotations. Kind of loosening up our thoracic spine, our mid-back, our lumbar spine, shoulders. Breathe. Now I want you to just roll your neck around, and it doesn't matter if you start clockwise or counterclockwise. We are just doing slow rolls. Letting your head fall back so the front of your face faces the ceiling. Then rolling it back down, letting your chin tuck in towards your chest. Nice and slow, all in the same direction. Good, and switching directions. Nice and slow. Let your shoulders completely relax. So your shoulders should not be hunched up towards your ears. They should be, falling towards the ground. You're not really using them at all, so there shouldn't be any muscle use right now. Let them just completely relax. Now bring your hands up, interlace your fingers, put them behind your head. And I want you to inhale, and as you inhale, you're kind of pushing back. And then as you exhale, you're releasing forward, elbows kind of fall in towards one another. You're not pushing your head down at all. It's just, you're just letting gravity kind of hold it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Oh, it looks like Facebook went down. Well, lucky for y'all on Instagram, y'all are not down like Facebook. Back and forth. Exhale. Now when you come up on this one, keep your hands behind your back and we're twisting again. Now this time I want you to really focus on exhaling as you twist so you can kind of wring out your midsection and so you have no air blocking that twist. So exhale, twist as far as you can to the side and hold. Breathe. Hold. Exhale, twist back to the middle. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Wringing it out. Breathe. Holding, twisting as far as you can. Back to the middle, hands go on your knees. Round your back. I kind of pull against my knees as I'm doing this, and you can again be sitting any way you want. You don't have to be cross-legged for this. Round that back, and then roll forward, open up that chest. Round the back, open the chest. Round, back and forth. Breathing in and out. In and out, back and forth. Now take your hands a little bit further in front of you. And again, you can change the way you're seated. You're doing the same thing here. Round it back, come forward. Round and forward. Different versions of the same thing. It's cat-cow in different positions, really. Round one more time and come forward. Now I am going to switch to a different position because I'm going to come into child's pose. So I'm going to swing my legs around and I'm going to the end of the mat because I'm going to be coming out in the front. So I'm in child's pose. This is going to make it a little active. So I'm going to be in child's pose here. Holding for a second, I'm walking my fingers away from me as I'm doing this. So you should really feel a nice stretch in your lats. So I'm stretching it out. And then I'm going to come forward, lower all the way down to the ground. And lift with my back. So I'm not pushing with my arms. I'm just lifting with my back. If you would like to take this further, you can lift all the way up, but it's not always comfortable for everybody. So you have the choice. You can either do full up dog where you are lifted, or you can just lift a little bit with your back and hold there. Whatever feels more comfortable. Now we're going to rock back into child's pose. Walking those hands, stretching out those lats. And forward again. Into back lifting and then all the way up if you choose to up dog. Your hips should be on the floor, so if you feel like you're struggling to keep your hips on the floor, they want to float, then maybe don't go all the way up into up dog quite yet. Come down, rock onto your knees, back into child's pose. We're just going to go back and forth. Forward, down, lift all the way. Down, child's pose, stretch out, good, come down, lift. I'm trying to use my back completely here, even though I'm still doing up dog, I only want to use my arms as support. I want my back to be doing most of the lifting there. Back and forth. See where you're breathing in and out of poses. One more time. Back. And one more time forward. Forward, last time. Breathe. Come down. And from here, hands come out like a T. You're going to take let's start with our left hand, I'm gonna show you with my right what it's gonna look like on your left side because you can't see mine. But your left hand is gonna slide in towards your chest. I've already done this one several times, so if you've taken one of my classes before, you've probably seen it. So right now, my right hand is going to slide in to my right side. Right leg is going to come up. And if I can, I'm gonna get it to touch the ground. You could put one of those throw pillows, if you have it handy, by this leg if it's hovering. And you're just holding. Head will rest on the ground. And hold. You're holding this for about 10 breaths. Good, go ahead and walk that hand out. You are switching sides. Roll and untwist slowly. This hand is now going to drag in. This is my left hand, left arm, or left leg. Oops. Wall is in my way. The left leg is going to come over now, twisting. Head is resting on the ground. And hold. And breathe. Again, we're doing 10 breaths here. Breathe. Almost done. And untwist. Go ahead and come up onto your knees. If you get uncomfortable with being on your knees for a while, or maybe your mat is a little thin, you might want to roll up the mat or put your pillow underneath your knees because you're going to be on your knees for a while right now. We're going to start with, I'm going to face y'all as I do it so you can see. My left leg is going to go straight out to the side, and I'm going to sink back into kind of like a child's pose. So I can be on my forearms or I can be on my hands if that's more comfortable. But you will be shifting back and forth. So either on your hands, you'll shift forward and then you're going to shift back. Now when I'm shifting back, I could be on top of my toes or I could be rolled onto my toes. It's really up to whatever feels most comfortable on your foot specifically. I tend to do it with my toes rolled. It just feels, I just naturally do it that way, so that's the one I do. So on your forearms, if you choose to do it that way, it just looks like this. Makes it a little bit more of an intense stretch for your back and your lats. I'm trying to really stretch them out, push back my hips. You should also feel this inside the inner part of your leg. Breathe. I like to inhale forward, exhale as I come back. That's how I feel most comfortable moving in and out of my breath here. Toes of your leg that's out to the side can be flat on the ground or they can be pointed. Rock back and forth. Back and forth. Breathe. One more back. Come up onto your hands if you are on your forearms, and then lift up on that knee. So it's almost like you're doing the top motion of a glute bridge if you were to be on the ground. So my leg is still out to the side. My right hand is going to go onto the mat. So if it's a little too hard to do with a pillow if you can't quite reach the ground. So if you can't reach the ground, you're just going to reach as far as you can. If you can go all the way down to the ground, you're going to come onto this hand, and then you're going to reach your other hand up and over. So I should be creating a nice line from my left hand down to my left toes. It should feel like an arch. So I'm stretching, I'm almost crunching these obliques up, and I'm pushing this side of my body towards the ceiling. And hold here. Your hand should be underneath your shoulder. Breathe, hold, really stretch. It's almost like I have a rope pulling this hand away from this leg. I'm actively trying to create that pull. Relax, and then pull again. Reach. Breathe. Lift up off of those hands. That is called open gate. We're now going to do closed gate, which means that this hand is now going to come in here. Now, a couple of ways that you can do this, because it's not always comfortable for everybody to put their hand on the inside of their leg. If that's the case, don't put it on your knee, because that's just putting a lot of pressure on your joint. If you can't reach the ground, then you can kind of rest your elbow on your outer part of your quad, but not on your knee. You don't want to be on your knee at all, and you can do it this way instead. Otherwise, put your hand on the ground, reaching with our right, stretching that side all over again. This time, opposite side. Breathe. Inhale, exhale, hold. This is probably, in terms of gentle yoga, this is probably open gate pose is one of my top poses to do. Always feels good, full stretch for the body. Good, come up nice and slow. We're gonna go back down to the other side, making sure that wrist is in line with that shoulder. Reach, breathe in and out. Reach. Good, come up, switching sides, coming down, closing the gate. If only I looked this graceful when I was closing an actual gate. I do not look this graceful closing an actual gate. But then again, I don't think anybody closes a gate this way. So, breathe, let's come up. Again, come down, reach. Breathe. Good, come down, reach, full stretch. Once you get comfortable in a pose like this, always know that you can kind of play around in it once you do. So like if I wanted to reach my side more, maybe flex my toes, once I've warmed up to a pose, then I can. And we're gonna do it one more time because it's just feeling so good. Reaching, breathe, coming up, down. Now this is the one where I can kind of push my hips the opposite direction if I want to, or maybe I can lean further forward. Breathe and come up. We're switching legs, so we're starting at the beginning. Right leg is going to come out to the side. You're going on your hands or on your forearms. If you did it on your forearms last time, you probably want to do it the same way again this time, or on your hands last time, do it the same way. Maybe see though. Come back, stretching it out, and then forward. Back, and forward, back, and forward. forth still, stretching out those lats, stretching out that inner part of your leg. Breathe. Let's do 2 more. Back and front. Back and good. Let's come all the way up, starting with open gate. So we're putting our hand down, reaching up like our hands and our feet. It's like a rope is pulling my arm opposite direction of that foot, making sure our hand or wrist is in line with that shoulder. Breathe and reach. Hold. Good. You'll already know what's coming. You're going to come up, switch sides. Remember, if you can't touch the ground comfortably, don't hold on to your knee. You can rest your elbow, your forearm right above your knee on the muscular part of your leg, not on a joint. You never want to put your weight on a joint in any of these poses on your knee. Breathe. Hold. Good, let's come up, switching sides, reach. Full stretch, making sure that wrist is in line with our shoulder. Good. Keeping that tension. You're pulling that oblique up, pushing this oblique towards the ceiling. Good. Come up. Switch sides. For some reason, I feel like a dancer in this pose. Every move I make in and out of it. Closest I'd ever be to like a professional dancer, because you already know my dancing skills. Come up, switch, reach, breathe, switch, breathe. We have 1 more on each side. Come up. Breathe. Ooh, up. Last time on the closed. Breathe. And come all the way up. Now you're going to have your knees go a little bit wider. Not crazy wide, unless you would like to go into the full frog pose, which is your legs are way out to the side. But we're just doing a wide leg child's pose. So you're going to rock back into your hips. Bring your arm. You're going to start with your left arm reaching, and your right arm is just supporting. So it's like a slight twist as you're here. Breathe. Keep holding. Come up nice and slow. Switch which arm is in front. Right is now in front. Left is just supporting. You're stretching out that right side. Come up slow. Again, left comes out. This time you could take your right and try to put it behind your back. If that's too much, keep that right hand in front then as support. Let's switch. Again, that hand can stay in front for support, or you can put it behind your back. Come up nice and slow. Now we're going to go into a little bit of a deeper stretch for our shoulders. And so you might want to have your pillow on hand in case you want to use it, but this is called puppy stretch, which sounds adorable if I might add. Your knees, it's just like child's pose. The only difference is instead of sitting back in child's pose, you're going to have a 90-degree angle with your legs. So this is bent like 90, and you're going to come down onto your forearms. And this is where, if you have a pillow, you could hold onto the pillow. Make sure it's just really your forehead hitting the pillow so you don't, suffocate yourself while you're doing this. You don't want to do that. So your forearms can come out, your forehead can come onto the pillow, and you drop your chest while keeping your hips in the air. Now, you don't have to use the pillow. It's just definitely a little more comfortable on the head. Otherwise, you can come straight down. Forehead or chin can even, if you're more flexible and feeling like you can go a little deeper, your chin can come onto the ground and your chest will follow with it. So get into whatever position feels comfortable. Start with the forehead, see how that feels. Go a little bit deeper. You can put your chest and your chin, and you're just holding. Breathe here. Keep holding. If it gets too intense, you can drop to child's pose at any point. On this breath, go ahead and come up onto your forearms. And I want you to round your back like you're doing cat-cow. So round your back. And then we're going to go right back into puppy pose, but we're not going to hold it as long. So coming back down into puppy pose. Inhale. Exhale, round the back, tucking the tailbone. Inhale, opening up the hip, down into puppy pose. Back and forth. Up, tucking the tailbone. Down, back into puppy pose. One more time, up. Rounding our back. And come to neutral. Go ahead and come back onto your hands. I'm going to face you all as I do this. I want you to shift kind of side to side. Just help loosen up those shoulders a little bit because we've been doing a lot of straight back and forth. So just rocking side to side. Now take your left leg, rotate that hip, bring it up to your left hand. Now, making it harder, you can go onto your toes, or you can keep it here on your knees and keep it a little more gentle. So open up to the side. This hand is bracing this leg. You can see my hand is right next to it. So opening up towards the side, looking towards that ceiling. Inhale. Again, make it harder. You can go, let me switch sides. You can go onto your toes if you want to make it a little more challenging or a little bit of a deeper stretch. Good, bring that hand down. Rotate, open the other side. You're opening towards your knee. Breathe. On your toes or on your knee, it doesn't matter. Let's rotate back in, switch to the other side. rotate out. Breathe. Looking up towards that hand, towards the ceiling. Bring it down. Rotate to the other side. Good. Bring it down. Drop that knee. You're going to practice hip rotation. So rotate that hip back. Take a second, reset, rotate it forward. Quickly open towards that knee. Come down, rotate towards the other side. Come down, rotate that hip back. Rotate it forward, open. Down, open to the other side. Down, rotate that hip back. One more time, rotate it forward. Open. Exhale as I'm opening. Bring it down. Open to the other side. Breathe. Let's rotate that hip back. Switching sides. Rotate that right knee to that right hand. Again here on your toes or on your knees. Open up towards that front knee. Hold it here. We're holding this one for a little longer. Breathe. Stretches deeper on your toes, but it's absolutely fine. It's great if it's on your knee as well. Bring it down, bracing that leg. Open up. Oops. Breathe. Bring it down. Let's open up to the other side. Bring it down. Open. Bring it down. Open. Bring it down and open. All the way down, dropping that knee if you're on your toes. Rotate that hip back. Breathe. Rotate it forward. Nice and controlled. Open up. Doesn't matter which side you open up towards first. Bring it down. Open up towards the other side. Bring it down. Rotate that hip back. Rotate it forward. Open. And switch. Open other side. Down. Rotate. We got one more. Rotate up. Open. And down, open to the other side. Good, bring it down. Rotate that leg back. Gonna face you as we do this next part. This is again one of my favorite stretches. We're starting with our left leg. Rotate that hip up towards the left hand. Knee is going to stay on the ground. You're holding onto this foot. You're not letting it move. I'm pushing into my hips, so I'm kind of dropping forward. So if you ever are doing that and you notice that your knee is like out here, then you need to walk your foot forward, because as I'm pushing, or walk this foot back further, because as I'm pushing forward, my knee and my ankle should still be in like a rather neutral alignment. So it can go over a little bit, but it should not ever be like this. So you always know your foot should be further up if that happens. But you're holding onto this foot. I'm leaning in, holding onto this foot and letting my knee fall out to the side, but I'm not letting my foot go with it. My foot is glued to the floor. I'm holding it down with my body weight, and I'm letting my knee fall out to the side. Breathe. You can close your eyes. This is going to be our last stretch that we do. And we're holding this one for a little bit longer. Close your eyes and do that 2, 1-to-2 ratio, 2 seconds in, 4 seconds exhaling. And breathe. Focus only on your breathing. Still holding that same leg. If you would like to go deeper, you can go onto your forearm. Hold that foot and gently press again on the inside of your leg, not your knee. You can look the opposite way. This will take the stretch a little bit further. Breathe. Go ahead, bring that knee back into the midline. We're switching sides. So I'm going to switch this direction so now you can see it. Right leg is rotating up towards the front, grabbing that knee, or that, not that knee, the foot. Making sure, my mind was ahead of my words, making sure your knee is in alignment with your ankle or very close to alignment. Letting that knee fall out to the side, pushing into those hips. Close your eyes. Focus on that 1-to-2 breathing ratio. Going onto your forearm, if you feel like you want a deeper stretch, gently pressing against that inside of your leg. Again, if you want a further stretch. Look away if you're doing this one. Looking the opposite direction of the knee. Release. Grab your pillows, 1 or 2 pillows. You're going to sit on the ground, and for the next 2 minutes, I want you to close your eyes, lie back. The pillows, by the way, can do 2 things. They can be underneath your upper back, arms can come out to the side, and you can do it with just 1. You don't have to do it with 2, or you could do it with 1 folded over if you want it a little higher. Or it can be underneath your hips and supporting your low back. Arms come out like a T, legs can be straight or bent. It is just up to you. I want you to close your eyes. Again, start with a 2-second inhale, 4-second exhale. Focus on just relaxing your body. And I have another little bit of time of you just holding this pose and relaxing. Knees can also fall in towards one another. That can feel nice on the low back.